Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kit, and today I would like to navigate with you a tempest of religious rocky uncertainty to ground rather impossible questions. While the speculatory nature of this talk is grounded in academia, I leave it to you, the audience, to decide how you feel. After all, the contents of my talk, the future of God, faith, and religion, are also grounded in feeling. And what is religion if not feeling, and feeling proof of our humanity? To have religious or non-religious hope within a world of uncertainty. Today I would like to leave you with that feeling. A feeling of hope, a feeling of the sublime, and hopefully something more optimistic and tangible that will remain with you beyond the end of this evening. So first I would like to start with a quote. If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him, Voltaire. How has religion evolved throughout the centuries? How will it evolve? Will religion become less deity-focused and more a way of life, a moral compass of sorts, like meditating with the statue of the Buddha or humanism? How have the ages we've traversed affected religious society today? Will we live in a secular society, a post-secular society, or a society ran by ones and zeros? I'm going to talk to you about how God and how people view religion has evolved throughout time. My talk takes 3 parts. I will look at the origins of religion currently, and how religion might look in the future based on these trends and thinkers such as Charles Taylor and Jürgen Habermas. The pre-modern age, spanning from our conception to 1500 CE. Looking to the Homo sapiens, we can see spirituality has been prevalent for a large portion of humankind's timeline. Instead of God, they had nature be their idols, such as the Venus figures, displays of Mother Nature and fertility. And with the pre-modern age came Charles Taylor on a secular society. Why was it virtually impossible not to believe in God in, say, 1500 in our Western society, while in 2000 many of us find this not only easy, but even inescapable, a secular age? Taylor gives 3 key reasons for this. The world people lived in, which testified to divine action. God's implication within society, with the kingdom having to be built upon a higher purpose, and lastly, the enchanted world of spirits and demons. This leads us on to what Taylor called the poorer self. The poorer self is open to spirits, while the buffered self, what you and I have believed in, our autonomy, the belief we are psychologically bound, is not. This has implications for the future, as due to this buffered self, there is an inescapable God reference in the very nature of our secular age. Our understanding of who we are is partly defined by where we have come from, reproaching those who indulge in myth, having now overcome that previous condition. It is an era of disenchantment and pride surrounding the fragile achievement of our progression. It is important to note, however, that Taylor vehemently disagrees with the notion that religion is dying. He views it as diversifying into spiritual form, referencing the song, "Is That All There Is?" and recognizes the modern-day shift to spirituality having similarities to the 19th century French Catholicism movement. People may not be religious in the formal sense, but they do have a desire to find their path, and they do have a desire to find themselves. It is the excarnation, steady disembodying of spiritual life from bodily forms into the mind. And then we move on to the axial age, where modern-day religion started appearing throughout Eurasia. And with this, Karen Armstrong on a compassionate society. The axial age influenced Karen Armstrong's view on how religion should behave now and into the future. She argues all religions share deep ethical foundations, the golden rule, a key part of other famous thinkers' views such as Hans Kung's global ethic. This develops the central focus of Armstrong's compassionate society into one of interfaith, where all religions are harmonious. She believes in this harmony because of the golden rule, the source of all morality. In her own TED talk, she gave the example of Rabbi Hillel, who summed up to the entirety of the Torah on one leg as that which is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor, to use pain to make peace. Therefore, the future of religion is one of compassion and harmony. And then we move on to the secular age, or the modern age, or now, this very moment, one characterized by religion's potential weakened grip on geopolitical currency, the one Charles Taylor believes we currently live in, one characterized by spirituality. Or, to tear this down is Jürgen Habermas on a post-secular society. He asks the question that if we live in a secular society, one intended to reduce religion, then why is a religion still so culturally and politically powerful? Religion will not disappear. Instead, he asks for a world where religious language is made secular and politics and debate what he calls the public sphere. For example, a dialogue in the public sphere might look like humans are imago Dei, transitioning to humans have inherent dignity. It is a world more assured in the power of the porous and what some critics call idealistic in its belief that all voices are heard. And then we move on to the data age, or the uncertain age, a sci-fi author's dream and a child's worst nightmare. It is an age where we fantasize over the guarantee of our own destruction. It could be an age filled with bloodthirsty robots, AI that tortures humans, mass infertility, or it could be a desolate landscape, sandy to the touch. And this uncertainty leads us to Yuval Noah Harari on a techno-society. Yuval Noah Harari argues that religion is shared mythology. He sees the future as one of dataism, as a future where the flow of data is a new religion, as a future where AI will have the ability to produce holy script, as a future I personally fear. But I will not dwell on the data age, for that isn't to entertain the fantasy. So, what age do we truly live in? What society can be foreseen in the future? Well, I'm afraid it's not that black and white. Instead, I would like to leave you with my takeaway. And lastly, Kit Wolsey Pont on a faithful society. Will these turbulent times foreseen in the future be ones filled with the fear of uncertainty, or will they evolve into something more? Something feeling, something tangible? Will we have faith to see them through, or will we cower behind uncertainty? And it doesn't just have to be a religious faith. It doesn't just have to be a faith in a higher being, a faith in an institution, but to me it is a faith in one another. Faith in yourself, faith in hope. And therefore I leave you with this. Yes, religion is evolving, rapidly and as uncertain as the first followers of any belief. But the question is, will you be hopeful and evolve with it? Thank you for listening.